Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chagozima Dindu and this is Choices with Chichi. I'm delighted to be back and better, I promise. I know I'm always promising, but this time around, from the bottom of my heart, I'm super excited to be back. Welcome back. I missed you guys. I missed me too. I was looking for me, and at some point, I would just joke with my friends and say, "Hey, if you saw me on the road, tell me I was looking for me because God, I won't even say that adulthood is scam or anything, but once in a while, you need to just take some time out of this our routine, even the ones that pay you and the ones that you feel you're called to do, the same routines that you feel you cannot do without or cannot do without you. Sometimes you need to take time out and rest, find you, re-strategize, get refreshed, get rejuvenated, and then come back so that you can serve the world from your area of greatest strength. And I'm really excited to be back. um, I have been AWOL for good reasons. I've had to transit. I've just been in a period of transition, not just geographically, because that's a follow, but I've had to also move from project to project that have competed with my various commitments. I've had to reprioritize in this last few months. And I also made a big, bold move, guys. I took a big, bold move. And this today actually makes it 2 months since I started my master's in the US with my children. I will be sharing all of that with you guys. Don't worry, we're in this together, but it's been a big, bold move period for me on many frontiers, and I'm just grateful for this season. I promise to be more consistent. I don't know that it will translate to having videos here every single week, but every time I show up in your room, in your living room, on your phone, I promise to have edifying content that draws you closer to God, that helps you to become what Abba created you to be, who Abba created you to be, actually, and then just makes the world a better place. That's what we do here in Choices. So, yeah, I said my master's, guys. By the way, I had this admission 6 years ago with scholarship, and I've had to defer it for 6 years. It's a story I will definitely share on this channel. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey, a humbling one at that. It's been very humbling. And I'm just going to be sharing my testimonies and be taking it really as it's happening with all the fears and the doubts and the times when I was like, was God really speaking? Was I hearing myself? Is this whole Christianity thing a fraud, right? I've had different emotions in this last few months, but through it all, I can categorically say God is real, guys. He's real. He loves us. He is that person in the universe. He's that creator who really does what he says he will do. He's reliable, he's trustworthy. And I'm not even going to start crying right now. I'm just here to be happy. Okay, guys. Over the past few months, I've had, like I said, to take some very bold moves. And I'm just here to really talk about my experience working with people. And I'm not just saying people as by human beings, I'm saying that on this journey, I have seen the power of people. And that's why I have tagged this video, the people currency. I know that as you're growing up, your parents are helping, are praying for you to be successful, and they're hoping that you choose a course or a path that makes you successful, and nobody wants their children, to not have money, and somehow we have tied the definition of success to money. I'm here to tell you that with some few points of mine, I hope I'll be able to convince you that in this life we've gotten our priorities wrong. My own 2 cents. We've gotten our priorities wrong, and I'm here to help you re-strategize like I have, because people currency. Okay. So I've had to do a couple of projects over the last 4 5 months that I could not have done by myself. You see why I say that money, I couldn't have done it by myself. And so recently I was just looking at my life and how far I have come, and I was like, hi, I'm not self-made. Eh, this baby girl here, I didn't be self-made. I'm not self-made. Okay. When I hear people say I'm self-made, I'm looking at them like, can't relate. I don't know what you're saying because I cannot relate. See, I am that lady that has had to climb this shoulder, ride on the advice and counsel and connection and love and warmth and support of many people in my life. I cannot mistakenly claim self-made in private or in public, right? And honestly, as you're retreating into the new year, one thing you must pray to God to have is people who would serve you at places where you need, we call them destiny helpers, places where you need help the most so that you don't stress. Igbo people say, "Aneji ahụhụ etu ọnụ." Don't be in a hurry to talk about, if you know how I've suffered. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Pray for good people so that you don't claim self-made because really, I don't know that anybody is self-made, but yeah, that's just for another day. So I have seen people propel me to where I am today. One of the things we must do this period as a people, as the body of Christ, as visionary men and women, as people who just want to be progressive in life, is to reevaluate our priorities and put people up here. So as we enter into this Thanksgiving period, churches are organizing Thanksgiving services, people are getting their testimonies ready, offices are closing for the year, people are beginning to now, ease into personal retreats. One thing I want you to take with you into this Thanksgiving period and retreat mode is gratitude for people. And as you're praying for 2023, see, for real, tell God to give you good people. More than money, don't place money above people now. Put people as number one, number two, number three, number four, number five. Then from number five, you can now start putting other material things because people currency. Okay. So that's how I started this journey. And I've learned three things I want to share. Just three. Don't worry, today's video is not long. Number one, money is limited. Money is very limited. I know it's that currency of transaction. It's the one that people feel if they had, things would be okay. But even during COVID-19, when the world was on lockdown, I remember thinking to my husband and saying, wow, at the end of the day, when all else is down, because we've had situations over the last 2, 3 years when things were down, literally, you see that at the end of the day, it's people that matter: family, friends, faith. Family, friends, faith. Those are the things that matter in life: family, friends, faith. If you have good people and you don't have money, you're okay. That's what I've come to tell you. So, number one, money is limited. Hmm. I will share my testimony. I will share my story of how I came here and all I've had to go through. But honestly, your money can't give you direction. Your money cannot advise you. I've had my son um, being celebrated here in the US by people who have become family to us. Even if I had money, I couldn't celebrate my son and give him the kind of meaningful birthday he had, being surrounded by people who truly love him. Money is very limited. I have seen people with money be unable to save themselves. If it comes down to it, for instance, and you're sleeping in your room and you have a stroke or something bad happens, how much money can help you stand up from the bed, put you in a car, rush you to the hospital? Number one, money is limited. I'll buttress on these things much more in my coming videos. Number two, I want to really speak to these people who are professional cutters. They know how to cut people off. My sister and my brother, don't be cutting people off. Oh. As the year is coming to an end, I just felt like I should advise you that don't be cutting people off. And see, whether you like it or not, God is about people. And if you must love God, you must love people. Don't be in a hurry to cut people. See, let me tell you something that you don't want to hear. You attract your kind. So if the people around you are always toxic, don't look too far. Oh. Don't look too far. They're not doing it from your village. There's something inside of you that attracts them. So maybe you actually are toxic and you need to deal with the toxicity. Toxicity. You need to deal with that toxic nature inside of you first before you deal with people around you. But stop cutting people off. Ah, then the B part of that is you too. Stop cutting yourself from other people. I have seen people talk about how they can do things by themselves. You can do it all by myself. Hey, you girl. Okay, that's an aside. But a time will come when you cannot do things by yourself. So you to stop being proud about the fact that you're living life without people, you're doing things on your own. You know they too last. I'm telling you from experience, you must be about people and people must be about you. So as much as you need to welcome people, you also need to welcome yourself into spaces. You need to allow people to love upon you. Number three, relationships. Somehow tied to number one. This year, as the year is remaining into the next year for the rest of your life, please value relationships, guys. Value relationships, invest in good relationships. And when you see people that love you, cherish them, celebrate them, tell them how much you really, really appreciate them in your life. Let me give you just one tiny example of relationships. So, my coming here was very rushed, and like I said, I'll share it. It was when we got to Doha that my husband and I realized that wait, oh, this is our emergency trip like this. We did not make plans for hotel accommodations or basically where to stay. That's how I started calling people. I remember calling this person who has become like my very good friend right now. And I was like, hi, babe. We're on our way en route, en route the US, and we didn't even make any plan. I was looking, feeling like an irresponsible adult. And she was like, okay, let me make some calls and then I'll call you back. Long story made short. By the time we arrived in the US, we had a family of, in fact, six plus their guests, housing myself, my husband, and our two children. The house was full with love. They hosted us, took care of us, practically gave us that good Samaritan um, um, welcome. They bandaged us until we were ready to stand on our own. People. And even if we had the money, and we did not have, but even if we had the money, imagine having to land in the US by 12 midnight and then roaming around with our two children, moving from one hotel to another because if you enter a hotel that did not match your expectations, especially because you have children and you cannot just sharply squat. Do you understand? So I just thought so that as far welcome, let me welcome myself back to YouTube to advise us. Please, this year, don't be cutting people out. Value relationships. Pipe a little down on the love for money and invest all of that energy in relationships. And I'm hoping that with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you that these people currency that did not tell us about, I'm telling you now. I know our parents did not pray that, okay, you'll be successful in people, but you need to be successful in people. It's a universal currency that is recognized the world over. All right, guys. I promise I will not give you guys very long video. I'm back and I'm better and I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to the coming videos where I'll share stories about being a mom and doing a master's degree alone. I'll still talk about hearing from God when it doesn't look like God is speaking, how to know if God is speaking, how to know how to take the next steps, what it feels like to be a Nigerian, like a host of all the other things I'm learning. I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I'm grateful that you've taken time to watch this video. If you loved what you saw, please like, subscribe, click the bell, gung, 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 and then share with your friends. I know someone needs to hear this. Someone needs to hear it. So don't deprive the person of that privilege. I love you guys. I love you. Thank you so much for taking time out. Bye.